Yo, what's going on, everyone? What's going on? 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 How's everyone doing today? Good morning. It's not the morning, it's nighttime. So used to streaming at night. If everyone's having a good night, I gotta prop my headset up somewhere. What's going on? Happy, what's today? The 8th. Happy 8th. Oh, my door just opened because my cats are running down here, whatever. Happy Wednesday. We're going to get on into the drafts now. We're just going to skedaddle our way on in here. So if you guys want to sign up on Underdog, the promo code is Notorious. You will get a first match deposit bonus of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Plus, you will get a free pick. So over on the Pick'em, you can't play it in New Jersey. But if you use my code, you'll get a free pick. I'll tell you exactly what the free pick is today. Google Slides. The free pick for today, which would be the 8th. Oh, the game probably already started. If you sign up with promo code Notorious, it will be Justin Herbert higher than half of a total yards. You're going to pick that, and they're going to match that with any player playing in the NFL or in the NBA. And if both of your picks hit, you will receive 3 times what you put in your pick'em around that amount. Or if you do multiple other picks, they all have to hit, but the payout will be increased. So we're going to get on into here. If you guys have any questions about anything, it doesn't even have to be regarding best ball. We can just talk about fantasy football. We talk about the NFL, talk about basketball. We talk about whatever. I appreciate you guys stopping by today. We're just going to get on into here. So we're going to be doing... Did the Mitten fill? The Mitten 3. Let's just do the little Mitten. Okay. So this one's going to be 2 of 6 advance out of the first round. Second round is 1 of 5, then 1 of 5, and then 248 seat final. We're going to get on into it here and just have a fun time. So the goal here of these drafts is, in my opinion, just to stack up basically 2 teams you think are going to win the Super Bowl. There's also a couple of thought processes about this, right? Where you could just go ahead and stack up one team and then kind of sprinkle in. So for instance, you pick an AFC team and then you just sprinkle a couple of teams from the NFC. So you're like, okay, I think the Lions could make the Super Bowl, but I also think maybe it'll be the Vikings, right? So you do a couple players from the Lions, a couple players from the Vikings. It's kind of different depending on who you believe will actually end up making the Super Bowl. Now, I've been trying to load up on Detroit and Kansas City stacks. It's very hard to get those through because obviously Kansas City and Detroit are both on bye, so they both want to end up playing in the first round. But if you get lucky, they have a good game, you could end up advancing them. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I will zoom in a little bit because I know it does get hard to see if you're watching on mobile or anything like that. So we have the first pick here, and to me, it's kind of... Look, I think the Chiefs are going to make the Super Bowl, and I think they're going to go up against the Lions. But if you have one of these top picks, in my opinion, you just go with one of these quarterbacks. So personally, I mean, I really do think it's going to be the Chiefs, but I think it could easily be the Chiefs versus the Bills in the AFC Championship game. So we're just going to go with Josh Allen here. And you know what? Maybe if the Bills end up winning the Super Bowl, which would be an absolute disaster, in my opinion, just as a Dolphins fan, because every single Bills fan will be laughing at me. They'll be like, ha, my team won a Super Bowl before yours can. This, that, and the other thing. So it would be a big disaster. But hey, if I made my money off of Josh Allen, I would be very happy. So that's what we went with the first pick there. I think it's kind of here. Should we move ourselves to the left? To the left, to the left. Everything you need in a box to the left. See, they make this. I'm like stupid and don't know how to use StreamYard correctly. How do I slide myself to the right? Whatever. This is the one thing that like the one thing that's so much better about being on the thing that I know how to use, which is OBS, is I can actually customize shit correctly. But it is what it is. We're gonna delete those changes. Oh, discard changes. We'll just stay at the bottom left. Okay, so the draft began. It was Josh Allen, then Jalen Hurts, then Lamar, Mahomes, Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry. So if you're stuck kind of at the 6th pick, and if Mahomes and Goff go ahead of you, you're basically just kicked away from taking a quarterback early because the other quarterbacks that are available, I mean, there are solid quarterbacks, right? Sam Darnold, Baker, but I mean, you're not taking those guys in the 2nd round or even the 1st round. So you're just going to have to wait. So with Josh Allen, we're going to be looking to stack up Buffalo guys. So we would type in Buffalo on here. I guess I don't know how to spell. So James Cook, Khalil Shakira, Amari Cooper, Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman, all those guys, all those fellas. So I would actually prefer to have Keon Coleman over Dalton Kincaid. I love Dalton Kincaid, but ultimately I just feel like Keon Coleman would make a bigger splash in potential games. So we're going to go with James Cook first. That's kind of the no-brainer, right? We went ahead and got our stack with Josh Allen. We got a running back. And then we're going to go ahead and get Jameson Williams just to get Detroit. Because, again, I really do think Detroit's going to make the Super Bowl. I know they are severely banged up. I know the defense is banged up, but the defense looked good against Sam Darnold. Again, I don't expect them to have this like lethal defense, the best defense in the playoffs, but I do think Detroit could end up having their way and make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Will they win? Will they not? Who knows? But in this kind of a build here, where we're building for Buffalo, I do think it makes sense to get some Detroit guys because Buffalo plays week 1, right? They're playing up against the Broncos, and Josh Allen and friends could take us over the top. How are you doing, Spock? I sent you a Discord message. Are you doing all right? I know California is all messed up right now. I was just hoping you were okay. But since you're here, I assume you're all good. Devontae Smith, Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, Sam Laporta. Interesting. So, again, I think we're going to just try to load up on Buffalo and then go for some pieces from like Detroit, maybe Minnesota, the Rams, whoever you really think is going to end up making it to the Super Bowl. Now, very interesting because the wildfires, this game, the Rams versus the Lions, might be actually getting played. Not Rams versus Lions, the Rams versus the Vikings might actually be being played in Arizona instead, which is very interesting. I mean, I don't think the Rams really have like that crazy of a home field advantage, if you guys know what I'm saying, right? It's not like the Rams are like this super big home team. You know, we kind of always see their stadium get overrun by other teams. So I don't think they're going to necessarily lose the home field advantage, but that does suck still because the players, you probably were staying at home. Now you have to go to a hotel. We'll see what ends up happening, though. It's not set in stone just yet. Oh, okay, that's good to hear, Spock. It's snowing in Texas? What the hell? That's crazy. More like sleet. Oh, okay. All right, we're about to be up here. So basically every Buffalo guy is gone, which is fine. Because then we can just go more Buffalo guys later. So the smart move here would be to just get some other pieces that are going to score points early. So let's go with Ladd, because I think Ladd's going to have a pretty good 1st round, probably a pretty good 2nd round if he can make it. And then I think we should just pick Amari, just to guarantee that we get him. I think Amari missed practice today, but it was for personal reasons, so I'm not really too worried about that. And I don't think he was going to come back to us. I just know someone would have taken him by the time it gets to be our pick again. And in these drafts, I don't really pay attention at all to ADP. I just don't think it really matters. 20-degree weather. I saw something about cold weather in the east. Yeah, it's freezing here. Let's see. Where I live, I almost just said it. Let's see how cold it is. It is 22 degrees right now. It's supposed to snow on Saturday. It's like 20 to 30 degrees every day. It's frozen. Frozone. Frozone. All right. So we want some more Lions probably later. Snag some Lions late. I like Tim Patrick. Maybe even a Khalif Raymond sprinkle at the end there. Everyone shuts down when we get hit with that kind of weather because the highways are a death trap and everything is via the highway. That makes sense. People just don't know how to drive when it gets cold. And even here in New Jersey, people don't know how to drive when it starts snowing. People just start making terrible decisions. And I'm not like some expert driver. I'm not out there like, oh shit, I was trying to think of the guy's name. Shake and Bake. Can't even think of his name off the top of my head, but it does get crazy. All right. McLaurin. So hopefully we can get Keon. Prime time Keon. And then yeah, Keon. And then hopefully I just want to grab Jacobs low-key just because he can get a lot of points early on. He can maybe take us to the promised land here. Jacobs could be solid for us for a week or two, especially if they could beat the Eagles. I do like the Tampa Bay guys, but I think they're probably all gone. Yeah, Bucky's gone. I do like McMillan a lot too because I think McMillan's going to be good early on. All right, let's get Keon. And then let's go Jacobs. Bada bing, bada boom. Step inside the room. I think that was a smart play there. And then hopefully we get McMillan on the way back. Back. And then maybe Tim Patrick. I think the Bills or Ravens should beat the Chiefs, but would they beat the Chiefs and the refs combined? That is true. I think, honestly, Ricky Bobby, yeah, you're right. I was thinking in my head, right, I would rather see the Ravens make the Super Bowl over the Chiefs, but something just tells me the Chiefs are just going to make it. Like, even like every year we all try to say like, oh, this is the time the Chiefs go down. You know, let's just hop on this bandwagon. The Bills are going to get them. The X team, the Ravens are going to get them. The Lions will get them. Oh, the Vikings will get them. Whoever you think the Eagles will get them, right? And then they just don't, right? It just always ends up being the same thing. It's the same story every single year. You think it's like the definition of insanity, right? You think something's going to change, but it never does. That is exactly what the NFL has been over these last couple of years, right? You try to tell yourself, oh, it's finally not going to be the Chiefs. They're finally going to choke like this year. Oh, the Chiefs look terrible. The Chiefs this, the Chiefs that. And now the Chiefs look amazing. So they'll probably just end up winning the Super Bowl again. And yeah, the refs also do help out the Chiefs. Hey man, I won my league. Thank you for everything. No problem. I appreciate that. Congrats on winning the championship. That's awesome. That is awesome. Spock, I don't know if you saw in the Discord. I haven't been on Discord in like 10 minutes. The picture of the trophy. It looks great. It looks great. Okay. Let's see here. Who do we want to go? Because we definitely want to get Tim Patrick. And then I think we want to just go like some. We already got Green Bay, so maybe we go Jaden Reed as well. Tim Patrick and Jaden Reed. That feels like the play here. Boom. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys on Buffalo, which is solid. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 2 guys on Green Bay and 1 guy on the Chargers. That makes sense. Yeah, that was a funny picture. All right. I'm trying to think of who I should take with my last pick. Probably maybe another Bill. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, 4 should be enough. So maybe another random NFC team, right? Just say maybe they'll make the Super Bowl. Who would be another random player? Like, is Cade Otton going to be okay? Because you could go Cade Otton, and then maybe the Bucks get lucky. They make it all the way to the Super Bowl. progressing from the knee injury. Todd Bowles said on Wednesday that his knee is trending in the right direction. He'd be limited if the team held an all practice. The Buccaneers held a walkthrough. Okay. So maybe he'll be healthy. But maybe we just go Dobbs. Maybe we just say, F it. Let's go Romeo Dobbs. So we'll go triple Green Bay. I think that might be the move here. Could be the play. Not even Tom Brady was able to three-peat. Well, you'd be yeah, I guess that is true, but I do really think Mahomes, I really do think the Chiefs are going to win again. I mean, it's just every year I say they're not going to, and they do. And this year we kind of all gave up on them, and then they're just going to end up winning it all. So that's just how it goes, you know? Okay, so we're going to go Romeo Dobbs, and it's not going to let us draft him because it's going to be stupid, but that's fine. We're going to get on out of there, and we're going to hop in another one. We're going to try to win the $5,000 here. What is this one? Oh, $500. I'm going to have enough money to do it, but we ain't doing a $500 draft. What do I look like? Flex on me. Al Bundy would have three-peated if he didn't marry Peg. Al Bundy. There haven't been as many badge guys in these drafts, which is interesting. Very interesting. We're going to do this for about an hour. We're 15 minutes in. We're just going to have fun doing some drafts live and just talking it up, you know, having a nice day. Oh, man. It's crazy that it's already the NFL playoffs. It really did feel like the season went by super fast this year. Who will be the 101 next year? My best guess will be it's going to be probably Saquon. It's going to probably be either Saquon, Jefferson, Chase. Probably between Saquon and Chase, I would have to think. Right now, that's not a guarantee, but I think that's who it'll be. That's funny, Chuckleberry. I see what you said. That is funny. Sam Darnold, MVP of the Super Bowl, just to prove my Jets are haunted. That could be true. Oh shit, I'm up again. I was reading the chat. Let's go Hurts this time. Let's go Hurts. Hurts got the concussion, but he's good to go. Chase is my 101. I'm interested to see what's going to change between this year and last year, right? This year or 2020 or this year and next year. So 2024 was kind of the year of the receivers, right? Everyone was going crazy for the wide receivers early. And then the running back smashed, right? So I wonder if people are going to hop on the running back bandwagon or if they're going to stay true with the wide receivers. It's very interesting because it took a while to really move people into drafting a lot of wide receivers early, right? It was kind of the best ball narrative for like at least the last 2 years that you want to draft receivers early. But then only redraft finally really caught up in 2024. So I'm interested to see in 2025 if people stay that way or if they panic and they're like, you know what? It didn't work, or it didn't work for me because I drafted Tyreek or I drafted this guy, that guy. Yeah, wide receivers are safer. But the funniest thing, Chuckleberry, is this year I'm pretty sure wide receivers busted at a higher rate early compared to normal. And I'm talking about like a very large sample size. The wide receivers ended up busting compared to normal, which is just weird. Like it's just like, of course, once everyone kind of buys into the wide receiver narrative. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to take Barkley super early. And Barkley's getting another year older now. Again, I would still probably take Barkley pretty high as well. I mean, the Eagles are just a wagon, regardless of how old he is. Derrick Henry, though, Derrick Henry is really starting to get to that point where Derrick Henry is old, right? How old is Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry is now 31. So it's like people are going to try to, I believe, draft him. Not this year. Look at the graphics. Okay. All right. I'll take a look at that then. I will take a look at that. You put it in the 2024 leaders. Okay, let me look at that. Make sure you guys join the Discord. I'll link it in the chat. I'm about to be up again. Let me link the Discord. All right. We're up again. So we got our 2 Philly guys. There's no more Philly guys up here, right? No. Okay, so let's just go Kelsey. Let's just go Kelsey. Create invite, copy, paste. Boom. There it is. And I'll pin that. Oh, I can't do it on here. It's whatever. It is whatever. And then, oh, fuck, I accidentally closed it. Like an idiot. Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. 2024 leaders. Okay. It's crazy that Kittle or that Kelsey finished 5th. I really thought this was going to be Kelsey's year. Chase, Jefferson. It's crazy that Chase also scored way more points than Jefferson. You would think it would be closer, just off the top of my head. There was a lot of wide receivers injury. It allowed Bowers to be the wide receiver 9 in a sub 300-point year for tight ends. Yeah, that is crazy. Gibbs, 362. It's also shocking that Gibbs was the running back 1. I guess that really just comes off the fact that he had that huge game in week 18. I think Achane next year is going to be super interesting because I don't know if people are going to have the cojones to draft Achane super high where he's going to go. Knowing the health of Tua Tagovailoa is just always super up in the air. I don't know if a lot of people will be able to press the button and actually draft him, if I'm being honest with you. I think a lot of people are going to be scared to do so. So that's going to be very interesting. All right, let's go Bateman here. Let's go Bateman. I would pretty comfortably take Achane in the first round, but his numbers are so heavily linked to Tua that it is pretty scary in my opinion. Pretty scary. Every year is so different though with the way that people think about things. Like who knows? Like where's Brock Bowers going to go? Is Brock Bowers going to be a first round pick? Like are people going to be super onto drafting Bowers that high? I don't know. Like McBride had a great season. If he could just score touchdowns, I mean, he should have been the tight end 1 in my opinion if he could just score touchdowns, but he can't, right? The team is just inept in terms of actually getting down. So that's pretty interesting. All right, we're back up. You know what? Let's just go. We definitely need a running backs. We're eventually going to need some running backs. And we're going to need random Philly receivers. We got to think about that. Did Goddard go yet? Goddard, his ADP is soon. So let's just snag Goddard real quick. Just make sure that we get him. We get some Philly guys. Probably going to go Gainwell and Jahan Dotson super late. McBride is my hero. Yeah, McBride had a huge season. I was pretty into McBride all summer, so I was glad he played well. My fantasy team was a disaster this season because I had CMC, Stroud, Olave, and Pitts. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. That's really just how fantasy is. It's like, I mean, McCaffrey, I don't think anyone saw that coming. I didn't really like Stroud. I didn't really like Olave. I loved Pitts, though, and that didn't really work out at all. I don't think I can talk myself into drafting Pitts ever again. I just think I'm going to be completely off of him, and if he smashes when I fade him, it is what it is, right? That's kind of just, I'm just going to have to accept that, right? That he's going to probably play very well one of these days, and I'm just going to have to say, you know what, it is what it is. But I think, I just don't think I can do it again. I don't think that I can buy into that again. I just don't. I just don't see him having a good season again. I think Penix could be the guy. I think Drake London could have a good year again. But I really don't see Pitts being a guy that I would be interested at all in drafting next year. And then he's going to be like tight end 15 off the board, and then I'll probably just end up taking him on some teams, right? Like I'll probably just end up being like, fuck it, Pitts, he's the tight end 15. It's going to hurt way less than if, and I guess that does make sense, right? Because the farther down you fall at tight end, the sunk cost is just nothing, right? If he's the tight end 14, you're not drafting him anywhere close to the top 10 rounds. You're just throwing a dart throw on him. So I guess in that sense, it would be worth taking him, but I think people will probably talk him up again. It's just everyone loves him. And rightfully so, right? The talent was there in college. He looked good. It's just, can he actually do it at the NFL level? I don't know. Like, can he be that guy for a long period of time. I just don't think so. I think I'm going to go Kareem Hunt here. Because I think if we play for KC versus Philly, that would make a lot of sense. So let's grab Kareem. And then we can grab Gainwell late. Maybe Gainwell scores a touchdown in the Super Bowl. London was looking especially good down the stretch. Yeah, London was looking really good. I was pretty big on London. I wouldn't say London was like the best pick ever, right? I feel like I've called for better picks than London before, but I think London was pretty good by the end of the year. Yeah, NFC South is super weak. The NFC South is just like the Bucks are going to be good. The Falcons are going to be the Falcons, right? The Saints kind of like who's excited about the Saints next year? Sure, they could have good fantasy players. But who's thinking, "Oh shit, I can't wait to watch the Saints?" The answer is no one. No one's going to be excited to watch the Saints. They're kind of just dead. The Panthers are exciting though. The Panthers really get like a big couple thumbs up from the end of this season. I mean, they really turned things around in a way that I just did not see possible. I did not think that the Panthers would turn it around because while I was pretty high in the Panthers in the summer, I was talking up Bryce Young. Once he got benched for the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, I just thought it was over. And, Bryce Young really looked bad. And it was like, okay, I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong. It was kind of obvious. Like, hey, Nick, I don't know why you trusted Bryce Young, you fucking idiot. And then, I ended up being right. So that's just how it goes sometimes. You got to trust the process. You got to trust my own brain. Because I knew ball in that very instance. I knew what was coming. All right. So maybe we can snag Hollywood. Oh, no, Hollywood's definitely not coming back to us. Fuck, I should have drafted Hollywood first, but I'm a dummy. I'm a silly goose. But we could get D-Hop, which will be fine. You like Rattler? I don't even know if Rattler will be the starting quarterback. Where do the Saints pick? NFL draft order. I know the Dolphins are 13. Titans 1. Oh my gosh. I hate when these websites are like, you can't use your ad block. It's like, nah. All right. Tennessee, Cleveland, New York Giants, New England, Jacksonville, the Raiders, the Jets, the Panthers, the Saints pick 9. I don't think the Saints will get a new quarterback, so maybe it could be Rattler again. Like, I don't think Rattler's awful, but I'm just not excited about him. I liked Bowers towards the end. I don't remember the exact time that I changed my tune on him because early on I was really like, dude, if you're drafting fucking Bowers, what are you thinking? You're falling for a rookie tight end again. And then right at the end, like probably like mid-August, I was like, you know what? Draft him if you want. And I think that was the right play ultimately, being excited for him. Because man, did he look good. He looked real good. He was almost poor Dolphins. What are their playoff percentages next year at this point? 25%? No. They're gonna, what's funny? I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. I don't think they should make the playoffs. But every single Dolphins fan, I think now is done with the team, right? How the fuck do you bring back Chris Greer? You bring back McDaniel, which I think is 50-50. The Tyreek drama. Tyreek, I think will be back. Him and McDaniel talked. I think everyone unanimously was just all over the Dolphins. And now everyone's going to be off of them. And then this is when we make the playoffs again. But they're not going to be good in the playoffs. Like, I don't think they should make the playoffs, but I think they will. And they'll just lose in the first round as per usual. The AFC is pretty good, but like I can see the Dolphins being the 7th seed. They were almost the 7th seed this year, and they lost Tua for majority of the season. So if I had to bet, though, I'd probably say they don't make the playoffs and they win like 9 games again. That's probably what's going to happen, right? The Dolphins just do they experience tragedy, right? We experience the same thing every year, and then they just do it again, right? They just run it back, the exact same bullshit that we've experienced for years. They say, you know what? Here you go again, right? They throw it right at you again, and we have to all watch it. We have to all watch as they bend us over a table. Oh, I was going to go Cup. Let's go Zach Ertz. Cheeky little Zach Ertz maybe has a great week this week. I wish the Dolphins would have just honestly got rid of every single person, cleaned house, and then I wouldn't be so disappointed right now. Because at least if they cleaned house, you could have been like, you know what? In 5 years, they'll turn it around. Now they're just pushing the rebuild again. Now, the good thing is they did talk about actually bringing in an offensive line, which is just something we just forgot to do. Like, oh, I forgot to pay the offensive line. Why did you guys pay Chubb over Wilkins? I don't know, to be honest with you. I think Wilkins was hurt for a lot of this year. I think Zeeler was the smarter guy to keep. I think we should have kept Andrew Van Ginkel. I was so mad when we let go of Andrew Van Ginkel. I made this video on Twitter where I was singing that like Eminem song where it's like, "Hey Slim, I wrote you, I just drank a fifth of vodka. Dare me to drive?" That song. I was so pissed when we got rid of Andrew Van Ginkel. Now Andrew Van Ginkel's a Pro Bowler. Andrew Van Ginkel's a beast. And I knew he was a beast. I've known he was a beast for years, even when he was a bench warmer for the Dolphins. You know what? Chubb's injury prone. Wilkins, I'm fine with losing Wilkins because we were just never going to pay him that much money. It was just that simple. I do like Bradley Chubb, though. It's just, can he stay healthy, right? That's the biggest thing with the Dolphins. We just have a million players where it's like, you know what? If everyone stays healthy, this is going to go well. But we pay a quarterback who fucking stubs his toe and is out for the season. So it just sucks. I mean, I love Tua, but that's just how it goes. The Dolphins are cursed. They're built on like a Native American burial ground. I don't remember the name of the group that is buried there, but they've cursed us. And you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. The Dolphins will never be good. I've just accepted that. We're never going to win Super Bowl. So once you accept that, that's how you truly can feel happy. Bradley Porn Chubb. What a name. Do you think the Dolphins will pick up a good backup quarterback? They have to. They said that they looked for a good backup quarterback last year, but it didn't work. Give me Gardner Minshew. Give me Joe Flacco. Give me famous Jameis Winston. Give me someone with a fucking pulse, not this bum Tyler Huntley. I mean, our playoffs are literally on the line, and the guy's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, throwing the ball directly to the fucking defense, fumbling the ball. He's like, oh, my hands are cold. Maybe put on some gloves like Teddy Bridgewater or something. I mean, the team's a fucking joke. They've always been a joke, and they will continue to be a joke. And then next year, by August, when you guys are all watching the videos, I'll be talking them up again because I just fall for it every single year. It's like a curse, I just always believe deep down. Even when we sucked, I always kind of believed. Huntley was a terrible fit. Huntley actually is decent, but it's just like the Jets are playing for nothing, so they're just going to beat you. That's just what's going to happen. They just beat us. Huntley, look, the fit for the Dolphins is another quarterback that can sit there, that in under 2 seconds can make the correct read and has a strong arm. That's who the Dolphins need. The Dolphins need a guy like Drew Aller. I don't like Drew Aller. I don't think Drew Aller is very good, but I think Drew Aller will fucking feed the rock to Jalen Waddle or Tyreek deep down the field. I think we need someone that's halfway competent to be the backup, because if Tua goes down again, like, I just know it's over the second he goes down. And it's terrible because our offensive line is so bad that he has to make so many quick decisions, putting himself in danger. It's like the offensive line collapses. He runs for the first down. He hits his head on DeMar Hamlin, and he's fucking out for the season, right? It's just such a struggle being a Dolphins fan. It's so frustrating every single year dealing with the same thing. He hurts his hip against Houston. You want to know why? Because the offensive line sucks ass. He has to go scramble, and 2 guys plow him from 2 different directions. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's so frustrating. But, it is what it is. Yeah, I do sound like a Jets fan. Man, maybe the Jets bring back Rex Ryan. That'll be awesome. I love Rex Ryan. That feet lover, that big bastard, Rex Ryan. Who doesn't? I think everyone likes Rex Ryan. He's just such a likable guy. He's funny. Yeah, I need that ayahuasca. That'll help me out. All right, hopefully we can get one of these Chiefs. This guy took Mahomes, so he's definitely going with the Chief. Please do not take Travis Kelce. Ooh, oh, he didn't do it. I used my wizarding powers right there. Hit him with that hocus pocus. That alakazam, and it worked. All right, we need a running back, and this is the biggest problem with going with the Philly stack. You're just stuck with Kenneth Gainwell because there's literally no way you're going to get Jalen Hurts and Saquon. I mean, I guess it is possible. Like, if it goes Allen, Lamar, Gibbs, and then maybe someone takes Mahomes early or Goff early or maybe St. Brown early, but that typically never happens. But we are loaded up on Philly. We got we got the correct build here. And I think the play is just to grab Goddard and just say F the running backs. And now we've got Hurts. We've got all the Philly guys you want. Then we're going to hopefully get... Oh, yeah, I could show my lineup when I'm done next time. I apologize. I don't know why I didn't do that. I could show off all the lineups after, and then we'll go Gainwell. So if Philly makes it to the Super Bowl, we're looking golden here. We're staying golden. Shout out Pony Boy. The question is, can we advance? Like, is Philly going to actually show up? Is Philly going to shit down their leg? How healthy is Jalen Hurts? We shall see, right? Oh, man. And you know what really pisses me off? Like a team like the Eagles. When Tua goes down, we have some quarterback go out there that can't read the defense. He has like one eye open. He's a bum. And then Philly, Hurts goes down, and then Kenny Pickett's the second coming of Mahomes, right? And then Kenny Pickett goes down, and then they have some guy named Tanner McKee. Who the hell is Tanner McKee? And that guy's a beast. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And meanwhile, Tua gets hurt, we get nothing. Like, it's just so frustrating. Football is super annoying. But it's only because I care so much about it. Like, if I was just like a fair weather fan, I guess it wouldn't bother me at all. Like, I'm a pretty fair weather. Like, I love the Devils and the Mets, but I'm like a fair weather fan. Like, if they suck, like, it doesn't bother me as much, like as the Dolphins do. But I think the Dolphins really bother me because when they're bad, everyone in the comments is just like fucking hitting me with left hooks. Like, haha, you buffoon, you picked the Dolphins, you idiot. I think that's why. That's why it hurts. It hurts a little bit extra. Okay, so you know what? Let's go ahead and get Kareem here. Let's go get Kareem, and then we're going to load up on some running backs. Load them on up. That one good thing is that the Dolphins have Chop and Achane. I thought Chop was the wrong pick at the time. Everything I looked at on tape for Chop basically showed that the guy has a lot of talent, but he was going to need to get molded. He was a guy that really only had one move, which was just fucking run bull rush, which is get off the line, steam past a guy, and try to get the sack, right? But it turns out, while that is kind of still the only thing he can do, it just works. He keeps getting a lot of pressure. He actually has, I believe, the most pressures for that position since Micah Parsons. So it just goes to show, it's like, hey, the guy has some skills to pay the bills there. The question is, will that actually matter? Will it work? Will it work in the long run? And I hope so. A-Chain's a beast too. A-Chain's a guy that a lot of people like to throw injury prone on. I don't know about that yet, but the Dolphins, they're just an injury prone team in general. So I guess anyone that goes to the Dolphins is just going to be injury prone. Like, oh man, like Waddle always gets hurt. Tyreek, it's terrible. The Dolphins are just a disaster. I'm excited for next season, though. I'm always excited for the football because even if the Dolphins, honestly, when the Dolphins are bad, it actually makes football way more enjoyable because I just don't have to care about them and I can just enjoy fantasy. Or instead of on Sunday, I'm like staring at the Dolphins game, getting pissed. I launched my hat at the TV multiple times this season. During the Packers game, when Malik Washington fumbled the punt on Christmas, I almost jumped through the television and choked out Mike McDaniel myself. I'm glad I didn't go to the Jets-Dolphins game. My sister went instead. I literally would have went out to the sideline and beat the shit out of Mike McDaniel. That was so frustrating. But we're back up on the clock here. Back up. I think the play here is Mixon. I think we just want to get points at running back. Even if Mixon doesn't advance past the first round, get some points at the running back position. I think we should probably take 4 running backs. I just hope one of these guys finds the end zone and then just be good with these wide receivers. So hopefully Philly plays good. We got Tampa Bay as well. A-Chain got the injury rep because he's 5'9", 189 pounds, but he played all 17 games this year. Yeah. I mean, anytime a running back I wouldn't say a midget, right? Because I'm 5'10", so I'm just like barely taller than A-Chan. But when you envision a running back, at least in my head, you're like, what does a running back look like? You think of Derrick Henry or you think of Saquon, in my opinion. Like, those are the prototypical running backs off the top of my head. And those guys are behemoths, huge. So that's just kind of what I think of. So what the fuck are the Browns going to do next season? It's an uphill climb. They're honestly, it's a good spot to be in, though, because now you just don't have to expect anything. You can just go into the season thinking they're going to suck. They have Myles Garrett. That guy's great. They have some pieces They like Jerry Jeudy looks good, so like that's promising. They have competent running backs. You just gotta hope that Cedric Tillman's legit. You gotta hope eventually they figure out the quarterback position because Deshaun Watson just isn't that guy. Deshaun Watson is not that guy, pal. Not that guy. All right. Maybe we go Rashad. Maybe we hope Rashad gets a little bit frisky, finds the end zone. Let's go with that. But yeah, the Browns are a disaster. There's a couple of teams in the NFL that are just downright disasters. Let's look at the NFL pick order 2025, so I could just read off the teams that are disasters. So the Titans are kind of a disaster. The Giants are a disaster. The Browns are a disaster. The Jaguars are a disaster. The Raiders are a disaster. The Jets are a disaster. The Saints are a disaster. Those are the teams that I think are straight up terrible. Yeah, let's go white there. Browns tank for 2 more years and then rise from the ashes from Nick Chubb to an MVP. Shout out Nick Chubb. All right, so this team was Jalen Hurts, Kareem Hunt, Joe Mixon, Kenneth Gainwell, Rashad White. Hopefully, some of these running backs perform week 1. Then we got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Kelsey, Goddard, McMillan. So we need McMillan, Brown, and Smith to dial in there, and then we get one running back over, and then hopefully Hurts has a good game. All right, let's hop into another one here. We're 40 minutes in, so we're going to do a couple more of these. I'm interested in this. I would be interested in this, but the 1 of 6 makes it so hard to stack up like the Chiefs and the teams that I actually like. So the $3 one is just a little bit more ideal because you can get those guys through. Shout out Nick Chubb for real. I love Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is probably my favorite player that's not a Dolphin, I think. Damn, I watched 62 movies in 2024 according to Letterboxd. But that I don't think that's true because I think I watched movies in January before I started tracking. My most watched actor was Seth Rogen. Shout out Seth Rogen, my boy. And my most watched actor was Todd Phillips. So I watched 62 movies, 117 hours watched. I feel like that's not a lot. It's okay. My most watched day of watching movies is Sunday. That makes sense. My first watch was War Dogs, which I love that movie. And then Carry On was the last one I watched. I thought Carry On was pretty overrated, honestly. I watched that with my family. Shout out Miles Garrett Facts. Explain your thought process again on when you draft, so you're trying to advance. So the goal is to advance all the way to the final. So the first week is the hardest because 2 of the teams that you want to draft, in my opinion, Detroit and Kansas City, because I think they're going to make the Super Bowl. You don't get any points from those players. So if you go super heavy Detroit, super heavy Kansas City, you need to make sure that you have a bunch of other pieces that are going to get you there. And that's what makes it so difficult. Other websites are different. Drafters, it's just aggregate score. So we're going to have to go Jalen Hurts again. It's just aggregate score. It's a little different. Yeah, it's a playoff challenge of best ball, basically. Yeah. It's just tough to advance. It's interesting. DraftKings does this too, but DraftKings, instead of 10 rounds, I think is 12, which makes it a little bit different. Different wrench into things. DraftKings also full PPR, not half PPR. Just some things to think about. So we're back up. AJ Brown goes, of course. We could be a little devious here and go Mahomes and Hurts, but I think that's a little bit crazy. So let's just go ahead and get the boy Devontae Smith. Get the boy, and then hopefully get some Chiefs. Yeah, Hurts is gonna be good to go. Yeah, it's not that complicated, but it's just hard to get through. I mean, I do a lot of these just because I think it's fun. And the one good thing about the playoff best ball is like the regular season best ball, you draft your team like in May and you don't see any of that money until January. Whereas this, you draft it in January and it comes back your way in February, or maybe you just don't win any money. It's just sometimes how it goes. I have not been the most successful in doing these, but I do think they're fun. And especially at the $3 price point. Like if you sign up with promo code Notorious, you get that deposit bonus of up to $1,000. So even if you deposit like $50 and then you get 25 extra, which would be 75, that would be a zillion of these. And it's just for fun. That's how I look at best ball. I don't think of best ball, DFS, betting, daily fantasy, anything like that. I don't think of that as like a great way to make money. It's just for fun, in my opinion. Now, obviously, some people are great at betting. Some people are terrible. It's just kind of is what it is. Recently, I've been ice cold. Playoff stats are hard to predict. Exactly. It is hard. It's even harder in like a 1-game sample size. Yeah, that's facts. He's gonna have to come collect. Luca Brazzi sleeps with the fishes. I gotta find. I gotta find my. When I beat my dad in the championship, my picture was Luca Brazzi getting choked out, in The Godfather. But I gotta figure out what year that was or what league that was in. Is it my league? Our home league that we've been. You know what's crazy? The home league has been 15 years, going for 15 years, something like that. Super long time. All right, I'm back up. Fuck, I could have gotten Kelsey. That would have been sick. That would have been sick. All right, so we still want Philly guys, but Goddard, we can wait on Goddard. So let's go ahead and grab. Let's get Shakir. Shakira. Oh, baby. It was 2018. 2018. I'm trying to find it, and I'm going to throw it on the screen. League history. My dad did win our league this year. Oh, no. That I might not have. No, my team name was, or my picture was not you, or it was not Luca Brazzi in that league. I'm trying to find which league it was in. Is this one? League history. No, you know what it was? I made my picture Darth Vader when Luke fucking takes his helmet off, like a son beating the father, and that actually lost to my dad, and my dad won. that was that year. Shakir should be safe. I agree. I like Shakir. All right, I think I want to get Pacheco on this team because we don't really have any teams with Pacheco. I've kind of been loading up on Kareem Hunt because I just think at this point where we're sitting right now, I think it's pretty 50-50 on who the lead back will actually end up being next week for the Chiefs. Got him going all night long. All right, let's grab Goddard just to make sure we got Philly guys. Make sure we got our Philly guys. It's crazy how fast these streams go when I'm doing a draft compared to like the Sunday live streams. I feel like the Sunday live streams, we're only on for an hour and it feels like it takes way longer, I guess, because there's just so many questions. Ladd was the best rookie wide receiver in the draft last year. This year, I'm going to pay closer attention to the rookie class wide receiver. Everyone thought MHJ was going to be the guy. Yeah, I thought he was too. I mean, I liked Ladd, but I really did think it was going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. Actually, you think Ladd was the best rookie receiver? I think Brian Thomas Jr. might have been the best rookie receiver. But that's kind of up for debate. That's a little bit more up for debate, I would say. All right, we definitely want to get Hunt, and I think we want to go Gainwell again. So I think just building KC in the Super Bowl. Oh, best draft value. Okay, that makes sense. Ladd was going later, yeah. Brian Thomas Jr. was going super late in Underdog early on, and then he got some crazy steam, just like Rashee Rice. I'm trying to remember, like, do you guys remember, like, in early August, Rashee Rice was going, like, the 8th round, and then eventually he just started going super high. I was talking about for a while. Rashee Rice, that was definitely one of those what could have been type of guys if you had him on your team, because he was unstoppable until Mahomes took out his fucking ACL. Did MHJ not work because of Murray or just the jump to the pros? I think it's more because of Kyler or just the offense's utilization of him, because to me, he looked good. Like, just he passed the eye test. He looked open a lot of the times. He would make good catches. Like those big games, like he was making big plays. It was just like, it just didn't all work out. And that's a guy that, I think a lot of people, especially people that watch my videos where I really hyped up MHJ, I think a lot of people are going to say, fuck that. I'm not drafting him next year. I think a lot of people are going to be very, very, very nervous to take him. And I think I might be too, depending on where he goes. It's very hard to talk about like fantasy drafts for next season because we just don't know at this point. We really have no idea where guys will go. I think I am going to make a video either this week or next week breaking down the first round, because I think breaking down the first round, like who I believe will be taken in the first round, is pretty easy. But once you get past the first round, it's like there's so many large question marks, so many guys that could be on the move. Like Tyreek, where do you take Tyreek next year? Do you even take him in the first round, knowing that he might not be in Miami? Because his best numbers were in Miami. Like I know everyone likes to shit on Tua, but his best numbers were not with Mahomes. It was with Tua. So it's very interesting. Like if he gets traded, I think his value actually might be lower. But, that's just my opinion. That's just what I think. Dude, Malik Neighbors was such a beast. I mean, I think that one was kind of obvious that Malik Neighbors was going to be good, but he could have been really good if the quarterback wasn't just straight up trash. Right? Like if they had a real quarterback, we'd be talking super high and mighty on Neighbors. Yeah, he did. He just didn't get his fed this year. On the crib all night long. I keep drafting so many Bucks just because I really think the Bucks are going to be very helpful for people trying to advance. Let's hope this team we drafted here is good enough. Neighbors finished wide receiver 6. Yeah, he was really good. He honestly could have been the wide receiver 1 if the quarterback play was just good. Was just acceptable. Like it wasn't even acceptable out of the Giants. The quarterback play was that bad to where I wouldn't even say it was acceptable. Drake London barely outscored him. But I mean, like, it's crazy. Jamar Chase, wide receiver 1, comparing him to Neighbors, there is well over 100 points of a difference. And that is just a couple of spots different in terms of the finish. All right, we're up. We're up. Let's just grab Gainwell, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with the last pick. All right. I'm interested also to see next year how people think about quarterbacks, because we talked about this in the last stream, but I think taking a quarterback in the second round or third round is going to be very popular. And in my opinion, is kind of just the safe way to play, right? If you're just looking to build your team as safe as possible, if you get the Lamar, you get the Allen, you get the Burrow in the second round, is such a very safety net way to build your team. Now, I think the upside way of building your team is just not drafting quarterback that early. It's waiting, taking the Bo Nix, taking the guy you think has upside late. But I think a lot of people are going to be like, you know what, I want to get that because the second round was filled with landmines. The first round was filled with landmines last year. So I think people are going to view that safety net at quarterback very highly. Unless you drafted Mahomes, of course, because if you drafted Mahomes, which I told a lot of people not to do, Mahomes was absolutely fucking atrocious based on where you drafted him. I want to go check where he finished. We're back up again. All right. We could go, I think we just want to get another guy. We could go Gray. We could go Noah Gray. But nah, we won't do that. Let's just go with another high upside piece. Maybe a guy that could score some points early. Let's go with Quentin Johnston. Maybe Quentin Johnston has a big game. Maybe Quentin Johnston's the guy you need. So our team here is Jalen Hurts, Bucky, Kareem Hunt, Gainwell, Devontae Smith, Xavier Worthy, Khalil Shakir, Dallas Goedert, Keon Coleman, Quentin Johnston. So if we get Philly versus KC, we will have Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts, and Kenneth Gainwell. And then Worthy, if it's against KC. If it's against Buffalo, we get I almost said Leon Coleman, Keon Coleman, and Khalil Shakir with the Eagles guys. So this is pretty good. And then if the Chargers somehow get it in, we will have Quentin Johnston. All right, let's do one more, maybe two more. One way or another. I cashed out a bunch of my money the other day. I had more money on my account. I decided to take it out, go buy something nice. And by buy something nice, I mean go buy some food. That's really the only thing I spend money on. I just love fucking eating out. Pause. Just getting fast food because I'm a tubby boy. I need to start losing weight though. Starting to look a little obese out here. All right. Okay, so what was I trying to look at here? Oh yeah, where did Mahomes finish? Mahomes was the quarterback 12. That is the most fugazi quarterback 12 ever. If you had Mahomes, there is no way you felt good about him. Mahomes was the quarterback 13 in points per game, but I guess that does make sense when you think about it because every week he was like the quarterback 10 through 18. He was always going to be fine enough to where, like, if you started him, you weren't mad, but he was never actually good enough to where if you started him, you were happy. I'm also kind of interested to know where a guy like Andrews goes next year, right? Andrews is kind of like that, that safety net at tight end. Like a lot of people were taking him the top 4 rounds for years. Now I don't know if people will take him there, but he finished so well to end the season. Like what happens now with Laporta? Are people like going to abandon ship on Laporta? It's fun to think about, but I mean, the first time we'll have like actual fantasy ADP is after the Super Bowl when Underdog opens the best ball contest, and the ADP on that compared to August is just always so completely different. But I think it's interesting always to look at how things change over the months, how guys that you would never even consider drafting just move so high up. It's what makes fantasy so interesting. And I guess we're just gonna go fucking Jalen Hurts again. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna draft Jalen Hurts again. I wonder what team T. Higgins goes to. I think T. Higgins is going to be a guy like if T. Higgins leaves Cincinnati, where people might even draft him in the first round. Like what happens with the Jets guys? Do the Jets have Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and Rodgers next year? Are they without Rodgers? Are they without Garrett Wilson? I mean, it might be that Garrett Wilson wants out of there if they bring back Rodgers. Even though Breece Hall is like banging the drum for Aaron Rodgers, which is just interesting. Interesting. Like, can Chicago be saved by a new head coach? Like, can they get someone in there to fix Caleb, make him play better? Because then I think, like, I was heavy on DJ Moore, thinking Caleb would play better than he did, and he just didn't, right? I was just wrong. He didn't play as good as I thought he would. But DJ Moore still finished solid. Cortland Sutton was a guy I loved. He finished well. Tyreek, though, he was like my wide receiver 1. He was the wide receiver 18. Rough. That's what a dog says. The Bengals and 49ers Super Bowl window is closed. I would say the Niners window is closed. The Bengals defense sucked absolute schlong, and they almost made the playoffs. But yeah, I tend to agree because I think the Bengals team will be worse than they were this year in terms of roster next year. But you never know with the AFC because, like, the Chiefs are making the playoffs. The Bills are making the playoffs. The Ravens are making the playoffs. I guess that's really it, right? Those are kind of like the top of the charts in the AFC. And then after that, like, one of those shitty teams in the AFC South is going to get in, and you never know. Like, the Bengals are a team that I could see getting in. Maybe not winning the Super Bowl, but I could definitely see them getting in. And the playoffs would be a lot more exciting this year if the Bengals were in, because you can talk yourself, even with the shitty defense, you could tell yourself, hey, the Bengals are going to go ahead and beat this random team in the playoffs. Like, they could beat the Bills in the playoffs. They could. It's hard to say a team is closed. Yeah, I agree with that. It's much easier to say the Bengals are closed if they keep Zach Taylor. I don't think Zach Taylor's like one of those coaches where it's like, if you have Zach Taylor, like, you're such a laughing stock. But I also don't think I think that Super Bowl going up against the Rams basically just locked him in to a position that I don't know if he should necessarily be as highly touted as he is, in my opinion. Now, maybe other people think differently, but that's just kind of my opinion. All right, I think this time, because we're going Philly, I think we should go some Baltimore guys. I don't know about Zay Flowers. Like, is Zay Flowers going to play? I guess you don't technically need him to play this week, but when you're drafting guys on KC, you would want him to play. He's a long shot to play. I mean, I think that just means you draft Bateman ahead of him, in my opinion. So let's do Philly, Baltimore, KC in this one. So we want more guys on Baltimore this time. So let's get Bateman, hopefully. Okay, we got Bateman. This guy behind us is Lamar. But fuck him. Fuck him, that's why. I really wish the Dolphins had Harbaugh as their coach. Harbaugh is such a beast, man. That guy is such a beast. Both of them, I guess. All right. We need Philly guys, though. So hopefully we can get Goddard. And then the one thing that sucks about drafting Philly is you can never get Saquon. So you're kind of just stuck with all these mid running backs that I don't even actually like. And this guy took Goddard. Fucking asshole. All right, so we're going to have to draft some shitty Philly guys, which is fine. We should have just drafted them there. So we're going to have to get Gainwell, and then we're going to have to hope Jahan Dotson goes crazy in the playoffs. Or Grant Calcaterra or something like that. Okay. Let's go. Should we go Flowers? Should we do it? Nah, we won't do that. Let's go ahead and get Pacheco. Let's get Pacheco. This could be interesting. This is going to be interesting because I'm not going to like this team. I can already tell I'm not going to like it. And typically, the less I like my team, the better it is. And the more I like the team, the worse off it is. So we shall see. Dad, who the fuck did you just text happy birthday to? You didn't even say someone's name. You said happy birthday. I know it's Al's birthday, but. All right. We got to lock in here. We got to think big. I want to do one more draft after this, and we're going to do. Yeah, I know. You just texted in like a big chat. We're going to have to go. Oh, it is that dumb chat. Okay. We're going to have to go. Yeah, I'm not going to like this team. I can just tell. But after this, we're going to do just a week, wild card week draft. Be a little bit easier. Okay, so KC. We got 2 KC guys. We got 2 Philly guys. This is going to be a real odd draft here. Flowers goes. That's who I was going to take. We could go Hollywood. We won't do that. Green Bay is playing up against Philly, so we don't want to do that. Let's go Dobbins. So this team's going to end up looking real weird. It probably won't advance, if I'm being honest with you. And even if it does advance, I don't think this is a team that could win it all, realistically, unless it is Philly. I guess it could. It's just the fact that we don't have Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert really, really hurts. Really, really hurts. Make sure you guys leave a like button. Shout out to all 10 of you guys that are here. I didn't really expect anyone to join, to be completely honest. It's late. It's a work night. We might be live again one more time this week to do more of these. Just to have some fun. You know, I'm so annoyed that they got rid of that NFL playoff challenge on NFL, but I found another website that does it. So I think I'm going to have a video about that. And hopefully people join. I know the fact that it was on NFL made it way easier for people to join because a lot of people just have an NFL account. And the fact that this is on some random website might lead to less people joining, but we shall see. We shall see. Okay, so I mean, my heart just tells me to draft Hollywood here, but I think that would be a stupid move. But we're gonna fucking do it anyways. Fuck it. This team is cooked. Hashtag cooked. But if we can get KC to the championship, we could be cooking here because it would be Jalen Hurts, Pacheco, Worthy, Brown, and AJ Brown. Double Brown. But we're going to need some pieces to get us there. We're going to need someone to show up that we don't really think is going to show up. So that makes it interesting. Yeah, we definitely got to get Gainwell and hope Gainwell scores some stupid touchdown. Or hope, like, Isaiah Likely scores 2 touchdowns or something. Something crazy. Maybe we could go Cortland Sutton just to hope he has a good game and maybe they beat the Bills for this team. Maybe. Sherry baby. All right. We're going to go Sutton. And Gainwell. I don't know if someone will take Sutton, but I kind of feel like we need Sutton because we have only 2 receivers right now. Can you grab Jaden just to advance the week? I could, but I already have Hurts. So I don't think that's the smartest move, but it could work. I mean, I think Jaden, the highest scoring quarterbacks this week, I would think would be Josh Allen, Baker, and Jaden Daniels. I would think would be the top 3. I'm a Florida Gators fan, and we will get our revenge next year. Maybe. I'm not too big into college football. Like, I am I was gonna say Heat fan. I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan, but we shall see. I got Sutton and Juju when he looked hot for Ford and Brooks. I think Juju is kind of interesting in these because I could see Juju having a solid Super Bowl or a solid AFC Championship game. Like, the thing with Mahomes is he just throws the ball to so many different people that it should not be shocking to anyone when any of these guys have a solid game. And of course, Gainwell goes. So we are now just straight up cooked for the Eagles guys. So I guess we'll just draft Justice Hill, and then Justice Hill goes. Spoke too fucking soon. Let's just go Brian Robinson. Let's hope Brian Robinson goes crazy this week. So we can get this team passed. Then we're just going to go one more. I think we'll just go Jahan Dotson. I think that's probably the play. Hope Jahan Dotson plays well. And then we'll have enough guys. This team ended up okay. It wasn't great, though. Was not great. I wonder how Bill Belichick's going to do as a college football coach in comparison to the NFL. It's just so much different. You have so much. It's just so much different, I guess, because you have to really control. I guess in college, I mean, in the NFL, he was controlling the team too, but you have to make sure these kids don't fuck up. And there's like, so then again, he did coach like Aaron Hernandez and Gronk, these like crazy guys. I guess putting Aaron Hernandez and Gronk in the same conversation, I guess, is a little bit crazy because, Gronk was just like some party animal. Aaron Hernandez killed multiple people. So I guess that's not a laughing matter, but it's kind of funny when you put it the way I said it, makes it a little bit funny. But actually, I think there's a good argument to be made that Aaron Hernandez actually was a better tight end than Gronk. But I don't think anyone wants to have that conversation. But that's just what I thought back in the day when I was watching it. I was like 13, 12, I guess, was when Hernandez was playing when I was much younger. Crazy how old I'm getting. I'm so old. I'm almost 26. Getting up there in age. All right, so we got a draft. I think we're going to go Jahan because Jahan Dotson low-key locked in last week. Maybe Jahan Dotson. Maybe now he's got more trust with the team. Maybe he just goes crazy, even though I think that's so unlikely. Maybe he just does. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. I'm gonna hit that like button thing go at the bottom. Hit that like button. Hit that thing. Okay, so we're gonna do one more, and this time we're just gonna do a wildcat draft, 10 grand to first, just for the games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Just for those games, and then we're getting out of here. We streamed for over an hour, so I feel good about that, Feel good about streaming for a couple of hours. All right, not a couple of hours, streaming for over an hour. That was the goal. That was our goal. My goal on Underdog is to get the red badge. I only have the black badge, which I guess is not as cool as the red one. I think the red one you have to do like double the amount of drafts that I've done to get this one. But I have done so many drafts, I feel like I'm gonna be close to getting it. But I wish there was like a influencer badge, like a YouTuber badge or something. I get a cool badge, but they don't have that, sadly. Let everyone know who they're messing with, All right, so we are 5th up here. So this is going to be like way different because you don't have to think about advancing or anything. All I'm thinking about in this draft is this week. That's all I'm thinking about. That is all I'm thinking about. All right. Make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit that like button. And again, if you want to join Underdog, do some drafts like this, promo code Notorious, or click on the link in the video description for a first match deposit bonus of up to $1,000 in bonus cat. Not first match. It doesn't technically match. It's like half of. So if you do $50, you get 25. So first deposit bonus up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a free pick, which if you do it today would be Justin Herbert higher than half a total yard. I just love doing these drafts. Super fun. And it's a good way to waste time too. Like if you're just chilling, got nothing else to do, or you're watching TV. Like I watch a lot of TV shows that I've already seen. For some reason I just like doing that. Like I watch The League. I've already seen The League a million times, like South Park, things like that. Then why watch the TV show? I guess that's like the problem with our people my age. They're just like stupid and they can't just watch one thing, right? And I like do a draft on my phone while I'm watching. So Puka went crazy against Minnesota last time. Lamar kind of spotty here. Let's go ahead and get a running back though, because the running backs this week are so ass. Like outside of Bucky and Derrick Henry and Saquon. So I'm gonna go ahead and get Bucky. Bucky. So how this works, I don't know if I explained. We need one running back, one quarterback, 2 wide receivers, a flex, and a tight end. The tight ends are kind of iffy this week too. So I don't really feel like I need to reach for him. So we're gonna go heavy onto Tampa. We're gonna go with Big Mike Evans, who clutched that big play. Clutched that. What a clutch at the end of that game. Aaron Hernandez may have been a while ago, but when I was young, there was a guy named Warren Wells who went down with drug and crime issues. If he could have played long enough, he could have been the greatest wide receiver ever played. John Madden said that. I have no idea who that is off the top of my head. Maybe I do. Like maybe when I look him up and I look at what he looks like, maybe I'll remember. Warren Wells. I watched this video right here. It says the sad story of Raiders wide receiver Warren Wells. It came out at the beginning of this season. Oh shit! How many views does this have? This only has 27,000 views. So I watched this video. I'll link it in the chat, so I do know who you're talking about. I saw this on Twitter or Reddit. I'm going to link it in the chat if anyone wants to watch it. If anyone wants to know what Spock's talking about. This guy, Warren Wells, he played 65 total games, and he had 3,600 yards. That's interesting. I'm going to watch that. I might have to watch the video again to fully remember what it was about. He suffered from dementia and died at the age of 76 of a heart attack. R.I.P. R.I.P. That's interesting. It's always interesting that like you think that's like the first time something happened, like Aaron Hernandez or O.J. Simpson, and there's just like 12 other guys that are equally as fucking clinically insane. All right, hopefully we get Baker. Let's go ahead and grab Andrews. I think Andrews probably the best tight end. Probably the best tight end. We're going to get out of here, though, after this draft, by the way. So make sure you guys do hit that like button before we get on out of here. Oh, my dad texted me. Good thing to mention. I am going to be making a UFC YouTube channel, and I will start linking that once it's up. But if you guys watch the UFC or you watch boxing, anything like that, I'll be making videos about that just for fun. I did quit my real job. I literally hated my job towards the end of it. It was really bad for me. Like I just didn't like it at all, and I felt like I was working too much. So now I quit. I'm gonna try to find another job, so I'm not just gonna be unemployed forever. But I will have more time now, so there will be UFC videos if anyone watches the UFC. Do you think Drake May will be good? Yes, I do. I'm sure Pat remembers Todd Maravich. I've heard that name before, but he's another guy I'd have to Google to actually figure out more about him. I do think Drake May will be good. I think Drake May is probably poised to potentially be like a top 10 quarterback, top 8 quarterback in terms of skill set by next year. The question is, do the Patriots, like, who are they going to get in there to be like a competent pass catcher? They need a better offensive line because Drake May is kind of left out to dry right now. Drake May has kind of been screwed by the offensive line. He's screwed by the fact that their best receiver, I would say, is like Kayshawn Boutte, the Mario Douglas. Jalen Polk didn't really pan out. They have Hunter Henry. It's just a team devoid of weapons. So it's like for fantasy, I think it's going to be hard to really make a great argument for being a guy that you need to really draft. But I do think he's going to be a good quarterback. I hate the Patriots, so I personally hope he's terrible. Personally, I hope he, it was a fluke this year that he looked good. And I hope he sucks. He's terrible, but I actually think he'll be pretty good. But it is interesting just how quickly things could change, right? I think a lot of people, most people that watch Drake May play this year, they'll say, I like Drake May. And then next year, if he plays like shit, they'll turn on him, right? Everyone loved CJ Stroud last year. Everyone has turned on CJ Stroud. Everyone hated Bryce Young. Now everyone loves Bryce Young. It's just very interesting how those things go, right? You love a guy 1 second, you hate him the next second, right? That's just how it goes. That's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess. All right, I think we're going to go Rashad Master Bateman here. And then we're going to go Big Dick Bo at the end. There's really no running backs here. Like Aaron Jones, I guess, would be fine, but the Rams defense is good against the run. Tampa Bay good against the run. So let's go Mr. Bateman, and then we're going to go Bo next to close things out. And then we're going to skedaddle our way out of here. We might go live again tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think there's definitely going to be a betting video that comes out either tomorrow or Friday on my favorite bets for the wild card round. We did it last year. It really didn't get a lot of views, but a lot of my picks were right. So, maybe that'll get people to watch, even though it would get I think they all got 1,000 views, which isn't that bad, but, none of them got a crazy amount of views, even if the videos I thought were pretty good and the picks were good. That's really all that matters, right? Even if the video wasn't super entertaining, the picks were at least good. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Our team here, we did Bo Nix, Bucky, Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, Rashad Bateman, and Mark Andrews. I forgot that we already went Andrews, so I guess we shouldn't have went another Baltimore guy. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. So thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate you guys. If you do want to check out Underdog, promo code Notorious, or click a link in the video description for your free pick plus a deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We stream for an hour and 15 minutes, so I think that's a good time to let off. If anyone is in Cali, I hope you guys are okay. I know Spock is good where he lives, so shout out to Spock. I appreciate everyone watching tonight. Hope everyone's okay. And there's probably people that are watching this after the fact, because even the regular streams that are about the start sit, people watch afterwards. So there's probably going to be at least a couple of people watching these. So I've done a bunch of these already. Again, I just do them when I'm bored. So I've done 4 of these drafts and 11 playoff drafts. I think we only did 5 total drafts on today's stream. So we've been doing a bunch of drafts. I just love it on here. So we advertise it for a reason, because I actually believe in them. There none of these no ads on my channel are just ads for no reason. It's because I actually use them. So yeah, Ed McCaffrey. I just know from my dad that he was a good player. So I will see you guys later. I appreciate you guys joining the stream, and I'll see you guys soon. I normally say go Dolphins at the end of the stream, but the Dolphins are dead. So let's go Broncos, because I don't want the Bills to win the Super Bowl. So have a good one. As always. Good boy. I hope you guys have a good one. Good boy.